Get this set up. Hello, warriors. Welcome to the sort of lit up and very dark table of Creator's Dementia. I am your host, Bradley. This is episode 2 of Creator's Dementia, and I am going to call this episode, let's see, so many titles. I'm just not sure. We will call it The Things We Do. And that could be a broad range of just about anything, so let's just try it out. I don't have a script with me because I did not type it up. I am very limited on my free time to actually record stuff, so I figured I'd just, what the hell, go with it. And I'm going to see if this camera will work the entire time. Might have to actually do some maneuvering, maybe some technical crap that is not in my wheelhouse, but we will find out, I guess. So, welcome to episode 2 of Creator's Dementia. And yes, I am actually getting the title right this time. I remember at the last of the first episode I'd done, I completely botched it, just as I did at the very beginning. So we're going to repeat this. Welcome to episode 2 of Creator's Dementia. Things that we do. So as a creator of many different things, books, I tried to do a little mini series on YouTube a while back, and I had fun with it, and I have a broad range of an imagination, and everything that I do, I criticize the crap out of it, because there is no one harder on yourself than yourself, because you want things to be perfect, and it just does not work out that way every now and again. So with this episode, like I said, I'm just going to wing it, and we'll just see how it turns out. And I'm going to try, as I noticed in episode 1, my voice was kind of like this, and my headphones, they pick up better than just any normal speaker, so I thought, I was loud enough. So now my voice is just a little bit louder, and I apologize if it annoys you. But, even if it did, you wouldn't be listening to this anyway, so I think I might be okay. Alright, so, things that we do, and when I say the term we, I basically mean creators. Of course, everyone in this world is a creator. They create many different things. It doesn't have to be books or stories, videos, little podcast episodes that may not go anywhere, but we all create something. Me myself, I create videos. I create characters with cosplay. I create characters in my books, so I have a wide range of fun-loving stuff. So, I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with my cosplay characters. That's what I want to talk about today. So, when I first started cosplaying, I actually started with Star-Lord. Of course, you all know him as, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's Quill in the Marvel Universe. My first cosplay was Star-Lord. My fiance bought me the helmet for my birthday last year, and I wore it like crazy. I was even Star-Lord for Halloween, and that was fun. And then I started to broaden. It wasn't much of a broad. After Star-Lord, I went from Star-Lord to Captain America. And I've done birthday shout-outs. I've went in a parade in a fire truck to tell a little boy happy birthday as Captain America because he was a comic book fan. And I went from Captain America to Thor, and that's when I had a little bit longer hair. I tried to shave my head as like a Viking, very short on the sides, very long on the top. I could even put it in a little fun ponytail. So yeah. And I thought it was a good look for me. Some people did say it was, but then I realized where I'm going bald, not that great. But I went from Thor to created characters I'd done myself. And the big character that I have done a lot of videos with, and I'm actually basing a book on, his name is Reaper. Now, if you have seen my TikToks, or if you are part of my Facebook and Instagram, anything like that, you have seen my character Reaper and what he is. There is a lore about the fallen angels at the beginning of, God's creation and things like that, where, Lucifer, he rebelled against God, and, because, God didn't like that. And there was actually some angels that followed Lucifer's rebellion. And there is this one angel, um, I'm calling him Reaper. I have Reaper being Lucifer's right-hand man, like his number one brother, basically. And the thing is, Reaper, he is not liking hell anymore. He does not want to be there. He believes that Lucifer lied to everybody, and the reason that Lucifer rebelled wasn't because of something very small. It was actually because Lucifer wanted to create mankind, but God did it first, and it made him jealous. So I have it where Lucifer actually, gathered up more angels and things like that too, because they all did not like the fact that God gave humanity the attention instead of them. Excuse me. But the thing is, Reaper is now after all this, millennia after millennia after millennia, he has become very aware that Lucifer lied. So, and he's going through all these thoughts in his head that the whole point of following Lucifer was because they didn't like mankind either. They believed that God should have put all of his love into them because they were, first created. And when God created man, he put all of his love into humans. And they did not like that. But, like I said, Reaper goes through a big old thought process about how he does believe that Lucifer lied, and he just basically he misses heaven, so he wants to go back. Thing is, once you're sent to hell by the Almighty Father, it is really hard to actually go back to heaven, because if you deny him, then he will not love you. So Reaper, now he is talking to another character, of course, I created, but their little brother named Elias, and he's telling him how he misses heaven. He wishes they could go back, and he is tired of dragging souls to hell after their deal with a crossroads demon basically is complete, and he really just wants to go back home. So he's explaining to his little brother Elias about all this stuff, and Elias is starting to believe Reaper now, but Elias, of course, is still on the fence, even though Reaper has been the one to protect Elias this entire time, because all the other brothers and sisters, they're not a big fan of Elias, and they think he's puny. They don't respect him whatsoever. So Reaper's, trying to get Elias on his team, and before Reaper completely just leaves hell to escape and go to earth to basically seek redemption to get back into heaven, he is summoned by Lucifer to collect one final soul. And this soul in particular is a very unique type of person, and she goes by the name Faith. Now Faith, I'm not going to give y'all complete spoilers, because in the book that I think I'm on chapter 4. Of course, I'm still doing my Zed's books and things like that, but Faith, like I said, is a unique soul, and I know I'm getting into this book, and I'm actually just supposed to be talking about cosplaying, but I just want to give you like an origin story of this cosplay character that I created. And when I done this cosplay character, it was just for TikTok. I just wanted to dress up as a fallen angel and, look cool with my white and red contacts, my fedora, my big old trench coat, things like that. And then once I posted it on my Facebook wall, and somebody said, "Are you going to make a story out of this?" And I was like, that would actually be kind of cool to create an entire novel based on a cosplay character that I created. So I was like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Let's do this. And immediately I started writing. So it's been fun figuring out all the details with it. But anyways, back to kind of explaining the story. Faith now, she's kind of like a psychic to an extent. she can have people see the last location of their loved ones that have passed away. So this woman, she comes in and Faith, she's actually dressed up as a psychic for Halloween, and she does tarot readings just to get money to pay for the building that she rents once a year, and just to have actually a little bit of funds before she goes back north to do a certain task, I should say. I'm not going to give you another spoiler, but what happens is the woman asked her to find out if her son that was killed in a car accident has went to heaven to be at peace. And every time Faith does this type of reading, a piece of the person's soul is actually taken, and Faith has a choice of what she wants to do with it. So, this woman, she's been in there like once a year for the past, some odd years, because her son, was killed a while back. And she tells her, if you remember the pain last time, this is going to hurt. And I don't want to take a piece of your soul away from you, because there may not be much left, and the woman's still persistent. She wants to make sure that her son is in heaven, because she does not want him to be roaming this earth alone and afraid, or be sent to hell, which would be the worst aspect of it. But Faith agrees to do one last reading of her, and the way Faith does it is she will take a blade, and I'll go ahead and give you this spoiler. This blade is actually part of Michael's fiery sword, the Archangel Michael. And she'll take it, she'll make a slit, or she'll actually stab the hand for blood to drip into a cauldron full of water, because water is actually, it's fluid. It has, water has a lore of being able to travel through time, travel through places, be kind of like a gateway between different dimensions, places, things like that. So I'd use water as part of this whole thing. And so she takes this woman to a complete blacked out area where there's, of course, a tunnel you can see in the far distance, and there's a very bright light. And, she's basically telling her, hey, your son was here last, so he could probably walk straight through that tunnel into that light and went into heaven. So, the woman is grateful that Faith showed her this. She was super happy that more than likely her son went to heaven. Now, the way to get back to the normal plane is to free fall. Now, the thing is, traveling from heaven back to earth, when you're not actually allowed to do that, unless you are a soul, a spirit, or an angel, you have to travel through hell as well, or at least a part of it, not the entire dimension of hell. So she tells the woman to close her eyes, so that way she cannot see what's around them. She tells her that whatever you hear, the screams and all that, she says, don't open your eyes, because it's basically traumatizing. You do not want to see it. And so as the woman is standing there, Faith, her hands glow, and it actually shows the tunnel, that people describe when they die. As they see the light at the end of the tunnel, and this tunnel is actually very broad and colorful when the lights ain't out, because the darkness blocked out all the other spirits walking to that light, because that light isn't only for just one specific person. That light is actually an how do you pronounce it? An illumination, I guess. Illumination from the pearly gates. It is that broad of a light. So tells her to close her eyes. The whole tunnel lights up. Many spirits are walking through. And behind this woman, you can see a very crystal clear blue waterfall with millions and millions of rich greenery, sunflowers, daisies, lavender plants, goldenrods, all these amazing colorful plants of life. And like I said, in the distance is a beautiful waterfall. The sun is just shimmering the landscape of the outskirts of heaven. Basically the Okay, I'll just stick with outskirts. And she pushes her off the cliff because it's the tunnel is high attached to a cliff. I'll just say that now. It's attached to a cliff, and pushes her off. And as she's falling, she can feel the mist of the waterfall hitting her face. And then once you hit the water turns into darkness, which means you are traveling through the outskirts of hell, which is called the pit. Now, the pit is where all the lost souls are trapped, and they are so twisted that they're not used particularly in Satan's army or anybody's army. They are just stuck there. So the woman falls, and she can hear the screams. She can feel long fingers pulling at her in every direction. And of course, the woman opens her eyes. And all these twisted faces, these eyeless monsters, they are just pulling her. So she freaks out and she screams. Screams for Faith, of course. Faith is standing at the top of that cliff in that tunnel, and she's basically like, damn it, why'd you have to open your eyes? She takes her dagger, extends it out into a fiery sword, which, like I said, is actually Michael's, and she just leaps off this cliff and straight into the pit to save this woman. So she's searching through this darkness with the only light being that sword, and she's cutting these twisted souls. She's fighting her way through, and then she finally sees the woman struggling, trying to fight off these twisted souls. And she gets to her, and she tells her to close her eyes again, because she's going to pull her out. But before she does, of course, a voice just comes across and echoes through, and a dark figure starts to kind of float towards her and is basically saying, there you are, I found you. And Faith pulls her out. And they're back in her little building. And so I know I went into detail about that little story, but like I said, I just wanted to explain that cosplay character. He, like I said, his name, Reaper, he is just confused about what he truly wants to do. I mean, he knows he wants to go back to heaven. He has no idea how to do it. He knows his big brother lied to him about the rebellion, and he is just done. And this is not going to be no love story. There's no love triangle. There is a certain plot point, or I should say characteristic within these characters that bring them together. Now, in this book, there's a bunch of other characters, and a great writing friend of mine. I asked him what I should really do with all these characters, because I got a bunch of these side characters that would just make the book phenomenal, in my opinion. And she gave me the idea of, all of them come together in this book, and then to keep the series running, give the characters each a act. Explain who they are later on, give them full stories, and kind of like have crossovers every now and again. So I was like, that's pretty cool. And so all these other characters that's going to be in this Reaper novel are going to have their own stories. So I forgot I'm actually recording video, so if I look funny, I apologize. And anyways, so Reaper, like I said, he's a character I developed. If you look, I don't know if you can actually see back there, but a friend of mine drew a picture of the Reaper character. So hopefully, like I said, this cosplay character that started off with just being a TikTok thing will blossom into a full-blown story. And like I relate to this character a lot, and I'm hoping that I can really bring him to life. So, all right, now another cosplay character that I've created. It is a horseman. War. Now, if you've read Zed's Wayward Son yet, this horseman, yeah. If you've read, I don't know why I said Zed's Wayward Son. I'm going back to my books. If you've read any book, I should say, if you've read any book about horsemen, there's different lore with them. So, another TikTok friend of mine, she created Pestilence, which is, of course, a horseman. There's pestilence, famine, war, and death. So a bunch of us have gathered together to create stories of the horsemen, in modern day times, basically. Give them an origin story, bring them to life, things like that. And my character that I got to do was War. And, he is, I just posted the origin story on TikTok. It's just, like a 1 minute type thing, just give people little information about him. And this character, I'm actually going to put into the Reaper novel, because I have a feeling that him and Reaper would be pretty compatible when it comes to doing what I want Reaper to do. Yes, it's very vague, and I hope that it plays out as well on paper as it does in my head. Besides Reaper and War, there is another character that is very sadistic that I have recently cosplayed, created. His name is Graham. Now, Graham is a psychiatrist that is off the hinges. He plays it well in public to the point where people will, trust him to listen to their problems. He gives them advice and things like that. But he also has this twisted way of bringing out people's fears. He wants to watch the world burn. And I am going to have this character be a complete downfall of an entire community. And that's going to be a pivotal point with Reaper and War. Now, getting inside Graham's head has been ridiculous. If trying to, going from a very creative standpoint to where you want to look like a badass, to trying to be funny every now and again, to trying to act like a psychopath, like a very sadistic psychopath, it is a very big change. Graham has got me to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I can actually handle this crap, because he is, like I said, he is a made-up character. I know this, but if any of you have created any character or, created anything, you want the personality to come out of your work that you envision. And kind of like how Heath Ledger did with the Joker, he went straight for it. He completely went sadistic. And with Graham, I'm trying to find that point, but I don't want to go to the point of no return. And, getting inside your character's head and completely finding out who they are and what they are capable of can send you on a whirlwind of emotions. It will freak you out. And, making video, because like I said, I do make TikTok videos of Graham right now as well. So, I've got Reaper, War, and Graham. And, I do have some other cosplay characters besides the Marvel ones I mentioned. There's one, Jensen, and I started a book about Jensen. He's a bounty hunter in space. I started writing that book a while back, and I just recently brought him to life through TikTok. So hopefully I can get that going as well, because I am working on 3 different books right now, and it is hectic. Mixture of my actual day job to my hobbies and my passion, my hopeful future career, which it's kind of hard to do with writing, because unless you literally have a support system of trust funds, I shouldn't say it like that. I apologize. Maybe a preparation. If unless you had started a preparation to where you could completely quit work and focus nothing on writing, it is very hard to do. I didn't do that. I've got too many bills and I've got a lot of stuff I got to care of. I physically and literally cannot just stop my work, my day job, just to follow my dreams, which I hope a bunch of people can do, because there's nothing like getting your dreams out there and having, the amazing life that you've always wanted. But I know I went off track. Anyways, the kind of like the name of this episode, the things we do. The things I have done to get into my characters' heads is, full of research, and it is full of heartbreak. Heartbreak would be a good word too, because, if you want someone to have like one of your characters to have a tragic story, you have to put in your mindset on how tragic you want it to be, and you have to feel all that tragedy just swarm you. And, we creators, we put ourselves through so much trying to develop properly all these characters that it is beyond fathomable on what we set our minds, or what we go through. And it's not all triggering. As we create people, it gives us like that big jolt of inspiration, like, holy crap, I can't believe I ain't thought of this before. I should do this right now. The things that we do, some people do not understand. We will force our mindset into a character. We will figure out every final last inch detail of each character, so we know where we want to take them and how we should actually act as we are portraying that character. Cosplayers, writers, filmmakers, they all can zone in on their true character, so that way you all can enjoy it. All my TikTok buddies, they shoot for the moon. They will go straight into their character to make sure they are enjoyable. 3B, her dragon, like, she can go from serious to comedic in an instant, and it is just fantastic. Her range with her dragon is phenomenal, and I've seen people do that, but her dragon is just the character, and she broads it, and she can finish it like nobody's business. So, yeah, the things we do isn't taken lightly. Some people, they can put in their entire opinion on whether they like it or they hate it, and that's fine if you don't like a character, or if you love a character that you visually see, like I said, on films, TikTok, things like that, or you picture in your mind after someone puts it in a book. If you don't like that character, it's fine. We're not going to hate you for it. If you love that character, that makes us feel good, but we know that the spectrum of the emotions you can have with any character ever created is a very broad spectrum. In book 2, I have a side character in there. Her name is Farah, and somebody, there was actually a bunch of people, including my fiance, thought that she would have been a great main character, and that my MC Atlas and her should have had a longer relationship. Now, when I say relationship, you just have to read the book. It's not that kind of relationship, but she said that she would have been a great fit for him. And, character... Oh, excuse me. That snuck me. That character I put a lot of heart and soul into. And um, when people can relate or they picture that character or any character to a point where they're like, oh, I can feel the emotions coming from this character. It is, and they tell you about it. That makes a lot of things worthwhile. And what we do with that kind of feedback can bring us from a brink, or it can just completely stop us in our tracks. They said in all creators, like books, movies, things like that, every creator that has ever existed, to my knowledge, does the same thing when it comes to feedback. And unfortunately, I have seen some people kind of vanish. Maybe they just didn't get it right the first time, and they thought that it wasn't good enough, and they could never be good enough. I went through that point before, but feedback is a make you or break you type deal. And what we do with feedback is, I'd like to say it's similar between everybody, but it's very different. My feedback that I can get, I try to channel it. Sometimes it will knock me down, like I said, depends on the feedback, of course. But I have tried to get myself in the mindset that no matter what type of feedback you get, you can use it. You don't like a character, that's fine. That character is not for everybody. If you love this character, that is awesome. I wanted you to love this character. Like I said, and the things we do when it comes to all around emotions, when it comes to all of our characters, all of our stories, we have the ability to make it work. But the viewers have the ability to destroy it. And what creators do with that is completely up to them. Now, I hope that actually made sense, because I faded on that a little bit. I went from something to something else. But like I said, this episode is the things we do, and this is the thing I do. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about, with dealing with the title, the things we do. As a creator, as a writer, I started with, that was creepy. There was a spider on my screen, and it wasn't a screensaver. I was trying to kill it. But I started with books, and then I furthered my ways toward filming. I helped with, oh, there you are. I see you. Come here. Come here. Where'd you go? I'm fixing to go get some spray. We ain't doing this. I don't like you. Unless you want to die, you better get up out of here. Spiders. Why can't we be like Spider-Man? I get bit by one. Why can't I just have some awesome superpowers? No. You'll probably die. The world these days. Anyways, I went from writing books to filmmaking. I helped with an Amazon Prime show called Remnant. I was a grip. I was a key grip. I helped set stuff up. I tried to film my own little mini series. Like I do TikTok videos, because just them little videos are fun to do. It's not just for kids and or lip syncing your favorite song. You can create a whole world with TikTok of anything you want to imagine. And like I said, I like to go far with my imagination. Like I said, these podcasts, this is a new adventure for me. Hopefully one day I can get people in here, get somebody else in here too to help me. I mean, it'd be very, very fun to share this one microphone, because I don't have the proper setup to do multiple microphones. Well, actually, no, I do. If I had another microphone, I could plug it up into this little audio this port on the audio box here. Sweet. I just need another microphone. I might just get another $25 one like this one, because this one's actually pretty good, not gonna lie. But hopefully I can, bring in somebody, do, a back-to-back type deal. Maybe another author, maybe another of anything. Because I don't know about you guys, but I like to hear the back and forth between people when it comes to topics and, with podcasts and things like that. It makes for better audio, better experience. So, yeah, I'm just going to end it with the things I do as a creator is unlimited. And most creators will agree, unless they are stuck. And that is just sad. And I hope they don't. People will experience that wall with everything that they do. But if you are a creator, the possibilities are endless. I heard breathing. Was that me? That kind of freaked me out a little bit. Anyways, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Hopefully the audio's better. My voice hopefully is a little louder, and I hope you actually enjoy it. I'm trying to get to the point where I can post something every week. With work, it's a little hard, and if I have a house full of kids, it's even harder because, of course, there's a lot of noise, and this microphone picks up a lot, and I don't have my own little section, my own little studio. So I'm in my living room, as you can tell. But I hope you guys are doing great. I love each and every one of you. Don't forget to live your best life, whether it be imaginary or not. If you are a creator, you have all the tools to do what is amazing. You just got to keep that mindset that you are working towards something that no one else has ever achieved. And once you get there, it will be amazing. Very corny, I know, but it's true. Alrighty, that is it for the Dark Table of Creators Dementia, Episode 2, The Things We Do. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Give me some feedback on how this episode went. Like I said, this was entirely unscripted, which is not my usual thing. So when I faded, or if I got off topic, or if I just completely flatlined at some point during this, let me know. I will fix it. Give me the feedback. I'll enjoy it. That's just something I do. I enjoy feedback. Love you guys. God bless. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. And I will see you on the next one. Peace. It's my